Hello and welcome to Stamp with Julie Baum. My name is Julie and today I'm going to show you a card tutorial. This is a card that we made at Stamp Club in June of 2024. It's a really unique design, the way that the little flaps open and they are triangle shaped. So there's a lot to this card, and yet it's also kind of a simple card. So the first thing that we're going to do is put the card together the way that we did it at Club, and then stick with me to the end of the video and I will show you how to take your card stock that starts out as a full sheet and cut it so that you have these cool angles. So stick with me to the end. All right, so I'm using a piece of garden green cardstock. That is our base, and it's already prepared for us. We'll come back to that at the end. Then I have a piece of white cardstock that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. This is going to be on the inside of the card. I went ahead before filming and did my die cutting. So I used circles from the decal edge circles dies. So I have a large garden green, a little bit smaller out of lemon lolly, and then the smallest one, after stamping the word hello in garden green ink, then I used the smallest decal circle to cut that out. By the way, that stamp is from this stamp set called Simply Said, which is clearly going to be the front runner of sentiment stamps in the current catalog. Just all the basics are in here. Thank you, yay, hello, just a note, birthday. I mean, thinking of you. So this is going to be an excellent set to go ahead and get and add to your collection. All right, I have a piece of this beautiful designer series paper, and this is called Mediterranean Blooms, and there are a number of different designs in here. The fronts are mostly lemons, a little bit of orange, okay, lots of lemon. And then as you're seeing as I'm flipping through here, the backs are all blues and whites. So very beautiful. In fact, 1 year ago, just this past May, my husband and I were in Italy and we went to Sorrento. And if you have not been to Sorrento, definitely put it on your list. Positano and Sorrento on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. But Sorrento just screams with lemons. It's where they make limoncello, and you just go through the cute little shops there and everything is lemon themed. So I did not get the stamp set that coordinates with this and the dies, at least yet. So I did use an old citrus stamp set, and that's how we got our die cut lemon and the leaves and this little flower. All right, but back to our designer series paper. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. We need to lay it in the direction that we believe that it goes. So I'm taking a look. I think that it looks a little better like this, just making sure the direction is correct. And then on the card, you can see here, okay, this is going to be the card front. So my angle that I need to cut in my designer series paper needs to go from this corner to this corner so that my pieces line up correctly on there. So I'm cutting from this corner to this corner. Just simply take the Stampin' trimmer, lay those corners so that they're right on the cutting track. I've got the top corner here in the track and the bottom corner down here, if you can see. And then we're just going to cut that, and that will give us our triangle pieces of paper. I'm also, this is a little trick, I'm also going to lay the blade down not on either edge, because sometimes when you're cutting on a corner, it will cause the corner of the paper to kind of crinkle up. So I'm actually setting the blade down into the paper, and then I'll do my down and up cut. That's just something I've learned through trial and error and mistakes. Okay, so we can get that out of the way. And now these pieces match up and can go onto the front of the card. So let's do that. I'm using my multi-purpose glue, also known as the green glue. Not that the glue is green, but the container and the cap are green. All right, and then you can just line this up. It doesn't take a lot of effort at all just to put it onto the triangular space there. And the second piece. I think the most complicated part of this was creating the card base. And that's why I'm going to put that at the end and show you step by step how I got that. All right, so there's my designer series paper. This one, see, I'm glad I used the green glue. I need to reposition. It needs to leave a little bit of a border, and I did not on my first attempt. There we go. See, I needed this little bit of green border because it matches what I did over here. So, all right, those pieces are now attached, and there is the card base. All right. Next, let's put our white piece on the inside. We will do some stamping on this. So I just grabbed a flower. Again, this lemon themed, citrus themed set has retired, but because it was a favorite, I have kept it in my collection. All right, so there's a little flower stamped in black. Here is the Peach Pie Stampin' Blends. I'm starting with light, and I'll just fill in my petals. Takes about 5 seconds to do your coloring on this card. And then I'll use the darker one. Now this is very subtle. The dark is not much darker than the light. It is a little bit, but I'm just gonna put like a line down each petal. Like I said, it's very, very subtle, but it does give it a little bit of dimension. So that's all we did here on that flower. Let's attach this to the inside of the card, and then we can do our decorating. All right, that piece is now in place. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build my center focal point all onto here, and then in one step we'll attach it to the card. So the first thing I'll do is add my lemon lolly circle to my green circle, like so. And then I'm going to put my large lemon slice onto the card up here. I feel like I have ink on me. I'm going to check because it looked like I was starting to get a smudge. And then I'm going to tuck my little leaves in. Now these are going to stick up slightly off of the green circle, and I'm totally fine with that. So I'm going to tuck this under here like so. Okay, again, I'm just building my little focal point. We're going to add the hello with a dimensional, and I'm looking to see, here I've got some, this is the very end of a sheet of mini dimensionals. Look, there's 2 left there. You can see that I use like up all of the edges of this eventually, but we do have exactly what we need left on here. So I'm just going to grab this. The hello is going to go over here. Kind of like that. Did I not pull the backing off? Oh, I thought I did. I went through the motions. Okay, there's the hello, slightly overlapping the lemon. And actually a second one would have fit on there. I wasn't sure it was going to, but it will. So let's just tuck it in there, pull the backing off, and stick that. All right, and then let's add our little flower. Oh, look, there's one more over here in this corner, and that's all I need. And that little guy is just going to go like this. Okay, this is going to go onto the card. So if you were using different paper or different decorations, you get to this point, you're going to attach it. All you need to be careful of is that you don't accidentally seal your card shut by applying the glue in the wrong spot. So as you can see, this is the cut where the card needs to open. I need all of my glue on the back of this circle above that center line. So, got it in my mind. Like so. And this can get laid down into place. Super cute. Bright and cheery. I'm going to flip it over, press it down. Again, I felt like I had a little bit of ink on me. I don't want to smudge up the front of the card. And there we have our cute little fun fold with those delightful triangles that make it very, very unique. All right. Let's go back to the beginning. I'm going to show you how to cut your cardstock so that you end up with this wonderful card base, which, by the way, can open in different directions depending on how you want it to look. So let's do that. What you need to do that triangle card base is begin with a full sheet of cardstock. So what I have here, we're going to imagine, is my full sheet of cardstock. All right, so this is 8.5 by 11 inches to begin with. And what you'll do either on your simply scored scoring tool or on your trimmer with your scoring blade is you're going to score it at two places. You're going to score it at the halfway point here, which is at 5.5, and you're going to score the whole piece of cardstock at the midpoint here, which is 4.25. Once you have scored and scored, that is then when we make our cut. So here's my whole piece of cardstock with my scoring lines on it. Then I take my trimmer, and it's actually best if you remove your scoring blade. It will give you a little bit easier time. So we're just going to pop that out. Then I would lay my whole piece of cardstock into the trimmer, putting the corner up here. Make sure that you can clearly see. Okay, putting the corner right there in the cutting groove. And this bottom corner is going to go in the cutting groove. Now the challenge here is this is a really big piece of paper for cutting at an angle on our trimmer. So once you get it lined up and you do your cut from corner to corner, you're going to end up with these two triangles. Now I'm going to give you a little warning, because when you first do it, you might think, uh-oh, did I do something wrong? When you first pull it out of your trimmer, this little edge down here, get that out of the way, this little edge down here, or perhaps this edge at the top, might not be completely cut through. It's just because it's such a long cut in the groove on the trimmer and it's a full sheet of paper. So you may need to take your paper snips and just snip it in 1 or 2 spots to free it up. Now, that's as hard as it gets. Once you've done that, you've created 2 card bases. So at this point, you can decide how you want your folds. This one could go this way, could go open and side flap, or you could do it, as I mentioned, you could do your folds this way. So at that point, you have so many different options as to how you want your card to open. All you need to do is to determine that before you cut your designer series paper so that you cut it where the diagonal cut needs to be. All right, so that's how you get your 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock into 2 card bases that are cut in a giant triangle. And then you can make a triangle flip flap card like so. All right, that is our card for today. If I didn't mention, this was a Stamp Club project from June of 2024. Super happy to be able to share this with you, and I will be bringing new projects very soon. Until next time, happy stamping.